guys, welcome back. Well, I believe this is going to be part 5 of my Rose engine build. On some of the previous videos I machined the pivoting spindle down so it would fit into the pillow blocks, the 20mm diameter bearings on them. Previously I'd machined the cast iron headstock, cleaned that up, that's come up quite nicely. And then in the last video I mounted the headstock onto the pivoting bar. So that's what I was up to previously. Now at some stage now I'm going to mount the pillow blocks onto the Myford ML4 bed, and I've started machining it down. I had a suggestion from one of my subscribers, Simon, at Wibbly Wobbly Idiot Vision, not easy to say. Instead of machining the surface of the bed down, which is quite a lot of work, would it be possible to mount the pillar blocks onto the side wall? And it would, but then the headstock wouldn't be centralised with the bed. Now in theory that wouldn't make any difference because you're not having to line up with a tailstock. There'll be no tailstock used on this machine. But what it would mean is that with it not being the centre line, I didn't think the aesthetics of it would be that good. I would like to keep it all in line. If I did mount it onto the side wall, I still have some machining to do. I'd have to take this shoulder off and this section, so there's still quite a lot of machining if I did mount it onto the side wall. So as I say, I've decided to keep it centralised with the lathe bed. So I've made a start machining this side down. Initially I was going to go down to this depth, but the bottom of the ways I'm about 2mm high at the moment here, but at the bottom of the ways there's the cast is I should say is about ½ an inch thick. So my intention is I'm going to take this down to that level, take a slight skim off that, both sides of the ways, and then machine this section out so it comes up to that point. There's a brass nameplate of the suppliers that I'd like to keep on. I'm going to try and use as much brass on this as I possibly can. So if I machine that back down, again this cutout here is the same depth as this. So if I take that section out there to that depth, and then the lengthwise, where's my ruler? I think I'd measured this before at 10 inches. Yeah, the distance between the two outer sides of the pillow box is 10 inches. So if I measure 10 inches from this point, not quite there yet. I had put a mark on previously when I'd measured it, so yeah, this section needs to come out to 10 inches, and then intending fastening a plate onto this. The width of the pillow blocks is what, 5 inches, and the ways on the bed are only 3, so I need an extra inch on either side to support the pillow blocks, and then a bolt through. So I'll cut a plate down, and once these sections are machined out, bolt a plate down onto this, and then the pillow blocks will bolt onto that. Well, up to now guys, I've been using this milling cutter, this face mill. 6 carbide tips on it, and it's been doing a cracking job. Not been using any coolant on it, but the last pass that I took on it is a really nice finish. The only problem I've got with this is the configuration of the inserts doesn't allow for a 90-degree shoulder. When you come to finish the coat, it leaves a chamfered edge. But you can make that out on it there, so I can't use that as a finishing cutter. So I'm going to experiment with some other cutters I've got. I've got this large roughing end mill, which I don't think I've tried this on cast before. So I'm going to give that a try, maybe on this shoulder and possibly on that side of the way. But I have got some other face mills that do allow for a 90-degree shoulder there, so I'm going to try that one as well. Maybe try that one across there to give me that 10 inches from this point. But I'm sure you don't want to be watching 2 hours of machining cast iron, so I'm going to do that off camera and bring you back on the next one when I've got that down and hopefully mount the plate on. Got a little ramp of some plate somewhere. I've been pricing up some brass, as I said earlier. I'd like to put quite a lot of brass on it, maybe the rosettes and other bits and pieces, the carriers that carry the guide that moves the headstock across, tilts the headstock left and right. But I've been pricing up some brass on eBay. It's a hell of a price. So I've been watching 1 or 2 videos on YouTube about melting brass. I have got a propane furnace, but up to now I've only tried it with aluminium, which has done the job. But I don't see. I think its melting point of brass is about 950 degrees. So I don't. Videos that I've watched, they've had some success with it. So I'm going to have a trip to my local scrapyard. It's only 5 minutes away, and see if he'll sell me some of the scrap brass that people have dropped off. Well, one piece of brass that I have got is this little beauty. Now, this originally was on an optical rotary table that I bought really by mistake a few years ago. When I first started looking for a rotary table, I was a bit green and saw this cheap, quite local, and I thought that's the one I need. So when I got down there, it's not the one I needed. It's not intended for doing any machining on, and it's a hell of a weight, impossible to pick up in one piece. So I'd stripped it down, and there's a worm gear on the outside for rotating the table, and it's got some indexing holes which are already drilled in, and these had a little plug in. So I thought that would be ideal for turning into the main drive wheel that turns a spindle, and there's quite some weight in that, so yeah, I'm going to try and make use of that. Right guys, I'm going to carry on milling this down. You don't want to see all that, so I'll carry on milling this down, and then next time hopefully I've got a plate that I can mount onto the bed, 10 inches by 5, and then we can mount the pillow blocks on, and it'll start taking shape then. Well, thanks for watching guys, see you soon.